John Graham, HoustonISO9000.com, going through 9001, 2015. Let's now talk about 8.6 at the end of operations, section 8, and it's talking about releasing the product or service. You're saying, hey, we're done. Now, the standard says, how do we know you're done? What is clear evidence of that? Standard says you have to keep a record. You have to have evidence of conformity of the product or service. That may be a laboratory analysis says it's good, or if it's a service, it's a final inspector that looks through it and says it's good. They sign off or stamp it. Then the standard also says not the position, but the person authorizing the release. That makes it traceable back to that person along with that evidence. So now think about it at a production facility, like even a big chemical plant. That release could be anywhere from the lab personnel, lab tech or lab manager signing off on analysis, or it could be somewhere in the logistics department. I've seen that. Or it could be all the way out at the gate, where you have a person at the gate, and that person doesn't know anything about that analysis, but they have a checklist that says, I have to have these 5 things, an approved analysis, a bill of lading, et cetera, and they check them off. And if they can't check them off, they're going to hand the clipboard back to that driver and say, turn your truck back around and go back to logistics, and something's missing. Otherwise, if it is good, they check off, they'll initial off, they now have a record of that, and they open the gate and the driver can leave. So it could be anywhere from the end of production, laboratory, could be some inspector in the QC group. There's lots of opportunities of what it could be. You decide. Now, one of the things I do recommend, you make a little table that just says, here's the different things we release, because most companies release some different categories of products or services because they make or provide more than one. That's fine. For each one of those, maybe there's 3 in the table. You say, for these 3, here's how you know what's conformance. It's a sign-off by the QC inspector. This one's a lab inspection, and this one's a sign-off by the project manager. Fine. And then say exactly what it is that shows conformity, and exactly what it is or who is going to be that person, so you have traceability. A table is not required by the standard, but it is very helpful.